Nanado, I listened to him before I came. He made His Excellency. He made assertions to the fact that the John Mahama administration did nothing. And when he was counting his promises and all that, look, I will plead to the presidential team and I'll plead to you, maybe because of the age of our president, his glasses must not be tinted. They should try as much as possible to remove the dark glasses so that indeed, even the road he moves on, he would once in his lifetime see that it was asphalted by John Dramani Mahama. You remember when he went to the Bona Afro region? You remember he told the chiefs that John Mahama did nothing, the former President Mahama, and all the projects were ghosts. But son, even circle interchange that I used here was constructed under the NDC. So we can't continue to propagate and do this to ourselves. It harms us. There are a lot of indicators. There is one aspect speaking from the political angle, and that's putting the facts, circumnavigating and rigmarogging around them, deciding not to touch on them. And another aspect going in-depthly to speak about what is actually happening in the country. I usually do not like referring us to back in the days. Like I say, in the time of Kufuor, he took us to HIPEC and that, because we are in 2018. And the fact of the matter is that we don't live with the dollar of 2013 anymore. We live with the dollar of 2018. You went to the Ghanaian people, you told them this was what you wanted to do. They voted for you on the 7th of December 2016. You come into office, you gave timelines to lots of your policies. In fact, 1D, 1F, there were timelines, there were time-lapse towards the eradication of taxes, and they described them as obnoxious. A lot of things were being said. Then you come today and you tell us when you are going from Kumasi to Accra and you are beginning to give us geographical distances and the speed at which you must go. I find it unfortunate because look, the dollar rate, for example, today it is indeed running at a supersonic speed. You see, there's a proverb.
But the Liberal Party...
I'll respond to him. He decided to respond to...
Yes, he said
PNC
that the
as a spokesperson for the NPP.
You see, when look, I would disagree with you,
I'm coming. I beg your pardon. You have your time.
The dollar is running up.
Yeah, because
that is not true.
There's a saying that when the donkey invites the horse for a race, after 100 meters, the donkey will have to smoke the dust of the horse. You came into the contest and you told us that you were going to reduce the dollar rates. Even if the dollar had increased by just 1 cedi, the Ghanaian people have every right to hold you responsible, because that was not what he told us. Dr. Bawumia told us we were very insensitive to increase the prices of fuel in this country. Today, as I speak, a gallon of fuel is going for almost 28
So you were
cedis.
looking at
that is
arresting the dollar.
He told us after first 100 days that the IGP had arrested the dollar, and the key was in the pocket of the IGP. Today, as we speak, it seems the dollar has broken loose from prison. The dollar has come to commit crimes in the market again, and the dollar is even running around our country and dodging the policemen all around, and they seem not to arrest it. Look, on a very factual base, 1D, 1F, the NPP told us that they have started, and that even the one at Amenfi, Ekunfi or Zamenfi, was almost being completed, that they were doing one in Techim and all that, only for the sector minister to appear in parliament and tell us that not even one had been started. One village, one dam, they told us that one had been started at Pandai. Only later on to realize that indeed Dr. Bawumia said we're in the rainy season, and so we had to wait for the dry season and move there and there. One district, one warehouse, that policy, we seem not to hear about it again. $1 million per constituency, they have told us that it has been translated into authorities. Today as we speak, the only thing the Zongo minister could tell us was they were going to build astroturfs for the Zongos. And indeed, the Malams and stakeholders told them, in the Zongo, we don't need astroturfs. We need education. We need development. We need that. So I think that on a fair basis, if we want to be fair to the Ghanaian people, all we can do to them as political parties is first of all appeal to them to forgive the government of the day, because all what was said, a different thing has been done. Look, on corruption matters, the president stated a lot of things and spoke about taxes and spoke about the IMF indeed praising the economy of Ghana. Look, when you withhold capital expenditure, and there's a more economic view, when you withhold on capital expenditure, indeed your coffers would not have deficits. And so when the IMF comes into your country to take statistics, they would see that you have enough reserves in your consolidated fund. So they go and they draw the radar. Look, logically, landlord economists will tell you that when you have a car and I have a car, for 1 year, if I run my car to take care of my family and you park your car, after 1 year, your car will value than mine, right? But I would have used mine to take care of my children. I would have taken care of my wife and children. So the NPP has withheld capital expenditure. Contractors are not being paid. They will soon be on the streets for demonstration. No 1D1 factory. No schools being built. There's nothing ongoing. There are no roads being developed. No hospitals being developed.
I'm sure Malik would go on.
I stopped having full confidence in the president's speech the very day he made statements such as reducing barbers' tariffs by 21%, reducing hairdresser tariffs by 14%, and that was the day I knew that the president had no control, did not know what was actually happening. Because in the electricity sector, you have the residential, non-residential, I think the SLTs. What has barbers got to do with the system? You speak of our dollar and our
But isn't it that the most important issue, he says, is Doomsor, which is now a thing of the past?
That is another big blow to the people of this country, because everybody in Ghana knows the measures that were put in place to resolve Doomsor, car power, Ameri, even to an extent where when they came into office, they criticized criticized and said lots of the mechanisms that were put in place to check Dumso were fraudulent. They set up a committee led by Addison. They went to Dubai to investigate same Ameri that had brought us about 450 megawatts of power to add on to our national grid. They went to Dubai, were sponsored by same Ameri, drank, ate, took allowances, took per diems, came back into the country. And I think just last 2 weeks, this Attorney General
But does that take away the fact that
was not
Dumso
corrupt.
is a thing of the past?
Yes, Dumso to some level